Hey everybody, so today I'm going to do a little bit of a different kind of a video. If you are one of my students at school, you know that we use this guy, you guys call him Mouthie, to figure out where our tongue goes when we make our sounds. So, since we're all stuck at home, I thought we could do a little craft project today. Today, we are going to make our own little Mouthie out of paper, so that when you're at home, you can show your parents or your siblings or anybody that's over at your house who's supposed to be there. You can show them where your sounds go inside your mouth. So what we need to make our own little Mouthie is some kind of paper. I have tons and tons of graph paper at my house, so that's what I'm going to be using. But if you have construction paper or cardstock or just any kind of paper, old newspapers, anything will do. We're going to need some scissors. We need either a pencil or a pen, so your choice. I only have painter's tape at my house. I don't know where any of my office tape is, but you can use painter's tape or office tape. You could also use glue. I couldn't find my glue stick either, and all I found was this little bit of glitter glue, so that might be what I use today too. So to make our mouth, what shape is this on the top? It looks like a U or an N, either way you're looking at it. So we are going to draw a big, large U on our paper. I will be drawing mine. I think I'm going to pick actually a big black marker so that you can see it a little bit better on the video. I'm just going to draw a big old U. Okay, flipped over. Big ol' U, and we're just going to cut that out. Easy as pie. We're going to cut the whole thing out, like the roof of Mouthie's mouth. We're making this top part right here. So, use our scissors to cut whatever paper you want, and if you're using colored paper, maybe you could make this pink, like the inside of your mouth is pink, or you could make it red, or if you want to be silly, maybe you could make it blue. Almost done. Alright, there is the top of our Mouthie's mouth. If you want to make it sort of 3D, you could take some of this extra paper that you have so we don't waste anything, and you could make this little bumpy part on the top of your mouth. This is called your alveolar ridge. That's those bumpies. We talk about that sometimes. But if you take your tongue in your mouth right now, on the top, right behind your teeth, see these are your teeth right here, right behind your teeth, if you put your tongue up on that bumpy part and feel it like this, that's the part we can make right now. So if you take a little piece of your extra paper, you can fold it back and forth, like this. And see this bumpy part in Mouthie, it's not very big. On the top of your mouth, it's not that big either, so we can just do a couple little bumps. I'm just going to cut this at the bottom. There, we have our little bumpies. And we can either glue or tape or staple those right to this top part of our U, because that is where Mouthie's bumpies are too, and our bumpies. I think I'm just going to use some tape today. But you could use glue, you could use a staple, you could use anything to make your bumpies stay in the spot that you want them to. And those bumpies are called our alveolar ridge. That's where a lot of our sounds get made. On those bumpies. So I just taped it on either side because my tape is painter's tape. It's not as sticky as regular old office tape. So there I have my bumpies. You can see them. You can feel them if you're making them. Now we have the top of our mouth. This is how it would look if it was inside a person. If you open your mouth really big, we have our bumpies. Now inside our mouth we are missing teeth and we're missing our tongue. So we're gonna make our tongue first. So if you look at Mouthie, his tongue is just like another U shape, a little bit smaller inside his mouth. So we are going to make another U shape, the same as this one, but just a little bit smaller. We want to make sure that, if you look here, our tongue covers almost to the teeth. So you want your U shape to be almost exactly the same size as this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace my U that I already have. I'll show you. I traced my U I already have. And then I'm going to draw another little bit smaller U inside, and that's the part I'm going to cut out. So I make sure that my tongue is big enough, because I've made this before and the tongue was too small, and then it doesn't necessarily work the way we want it to. Because we want our tongue on our paper to be similar to the tongue in our mouth and similar to the tongue on Mouthie, so that we can make our sounds correctly when we use this tool. I am just cutting out my tongue. So you can see I just made it a little bit smaller than the one inside. So I'm going to cut on this inside black line and leave the outside black line, because I just use that for what we call a template or a stencil. So really quickly, it doesn't have to be really pretty, because tongues aren't really pretty. If you're making this out of colored paper, you can make it out of a darker pink color or a lighter pink color. Use your creativity. All right, so I have just this little bit smaller U. And what I'm going to do, since I'm using tape, I'm going to put a piece of tape right here on the bottom so I can move my tongue around in my mouth however I need to make my sounds. So I'm just going to take a little piece of tape. If you're using staples, might work. Glue might be a little bit tricky on this part, so you could try some glue, but I'm not quite sure if it'll hold quite like you want it to. So if you do have tape or staples, I think that would work better for this part of your craft project, for your own Mouthie at home. All right, so now we have the top of our mouth, like this. We have our bumpies, like the bumpies on the top of your mouth, and we have our tongue. So now we can move our tongue all sorts of different places. So if you are working on your S sound or your L sound, those sounds belong on your bumpies, like we've talked about before. So if you put your tongue like this on your bumpies, you can see what it's supposed to look like inside your mouth. You could also, instead of making your own tongue out of paper, you could make a tongue out of Play-Doh or something else squishy, putty. So we have our tongue, we made our bumpies, and we made the roof of our mouth. We can, if we wanted to, make some teeth and put them around here. You don't have to, but I could show you what that would look like. You could just cut some out of some of this extra paper, just some rectangles. Might look kind of silly. I am just cutting strips out of some of my extra paper, and I am going to either, you could tape these or you could glue them or staple them. That would work too for your teeth. I am just going to rest it on the top of my paper like this. And today I'm using tape. I'm just going to tape some teeth on the top like that. It kind of looks like bunny ears. That's the outside. My bumpies are on the inside. And I'm just going to fold these over so they look like little teeth. And if you wanted, you could go all the way around. I did make some other ones, so I might add some extra teeth onto mine. And then you can use these at home when you're working on your speech at home to show everybody how you make your sounds. So we have today made our very own Mouthie. That's all the teeth I'm going to do for today. But there we go. See, his teeth do kind of look silly. But we have our teeth, the tongue, and our bumpies. So here you are. Your very own Mouthie.